Okay, different setting. The last time I recorded was at home at around 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, which would have been Monday, September 28th. And I was just about to go into my endoscopy procedure at Toronto General, and I was hoping that I would be at home afterwards to be able to record a follow up. But that's not what's happening. This is Tuesday, September 29th at 8:30 in the morning, and I am at Princess Margaret Hospital as an inpatient. I've been admitted, but first of all, I want to say it's not because is something happened during the procedure or something bad has occurred or I'm dealing with something new or anything like that. So let me just put that out there first and foremost. But the stent to put into my pancreas did not work as they had hoped and intended. Just didn't work with endoscopy. They were able to biopsy the mass, but they weren't able to put the stent in. So I was released pretty much on time. So I was there at 7:30. Had the procedure. It was painless. I was put under. It was the first time that I've ever been put under. I was probably more nervous about that than anything else, and I came to, I'm not quite sure when, but I remember being back in sort of like the holding area, or the resting area, or the waiting area, whatever it might be, and just seeing nurses at the foot of my bed, and there was just some kind of a feeling where it, not like bad, but just not like successful. Like it just wasn't having, I didn't get the feeling from them that it was completely successful. So what ended up happening is I was told a little bit more when I came to that what I had mentioned earlier, which is that they weren't able to place the stent, but they were able to get the biopsy. And once the sedation started wearing off and they gave me the information that I needed, which is the sort of the next steps of what needed to happen, I was discharged, or my husband was called for him to pick me up. And I was kind of wheeled downstairs. In time of COVID, it's a complicated thing that even escorts can't come up to where these procedures are happening. So I was wheeled down to the main lobby by a porter, and I was put into a car, kind of drowsy and sedated. And on the way home, like literally about 10 minutes into the drive home, maybe even 5 minutes into the drive home, I got a call. I want to say it was from the doctor who had performed the procedure, the endoscopy procedure, saying that my oncologist, who is Dr. Oh God, I'm sorry. Like I know her first name is Elena. I'm gonna get her last name one of these days. But she just has been. My feeling is that I have a number, I think, of guardian angels on my side through what's happening, and I feel like she is one of them, and she is keeping tabs on what's going on with me. And she had talked to the these all these words. The doctor who had performed the procedure in the morning and made sure that I was on to Plan B as soon as possible. And for me to get onto Plan B as quickly as possible meant that I needed to admit myself to Princess Margaret ASAP. And I asked if I had an opportunity to just go home and maybe gather some stuff. And I was told that like swiftness was key. I just needed to be admitted as soon as possible because beds are hard to come by, and it was important that I be admitted. So I just turned right back around. I asked some basic questions about where I was supposed to go, and I went back to. So my husband turned the car around, Dewey, back to Princess Margaret, and my understanding was that I was supposed to go to the GI clinic, and so I did in my sedation. And even though I was, coming out of it, but still pretty sedated. And I was also hungry and thirsty because I'd been fasting for the procedure. And I was told to not eat or drink just in case that next procedure may happen or be available as soon as possible. So I went to the GI clinic, and the GI clinic admin folks didn't know what was going on. So I was just sitting in the waiting room in this wheelchair, kind of a little bit drugged out, and saying, well, this is where I was told to show up, and here's where I am. But they did eventually take care of me. There was a lovely, I want to say she's a nurse, but a lovely woman named Monica who was in the GI clinic at Princess Margaret, who took very good care of me until they were able to find a bed for me here at Princess Margaret. And she was just wonderful. I've just been dealing with like just coming across and being helped and supported by so many really wonderful people. And they were able to find me a bed at Princess Margaret, and here I am. So the question is, why am I here? And from my understanding, I spoke to the inpatient doctor on call here or not on call, like just the doctor in charge here on this floor at Princess Margaret, is because as an inpatient patient, I would have priority in order to get these procedures done, as opposed to if I was an outpatient, I would kind of be in a queue of the other outpatient people. So these folks who know how the hospital system works, and I think also too that they're pretty concerned about my bilirubin numbers, which are pretty high at this point. And the way that I'm kind of thinking about it is like all this bile in my system. I know that there could be, I'm at risk for infection. If so, then that's going to be a big problem. So I think the combination of the fact that my bilirubin numbers are high and that they need to have this procedure done as quickly as possible so that I can get to the next steps, which is to start doing chemo in a couple of weeks, is of priority that's been made by my healthcare team, and I'm very grateful for that. So this is where I've been for the last 24, not quite 24 hours, but almost. And I'm supposed to be here. The doctor said the best case scenario is that I'm supposed to be here until tomorrow, Wednesday. The procedure is supposed to be done today. So the stent would have meant that they would have put a stent in through the endoscopy procedure, and it would have opened up space for the bowel to flow. And so that would have done that internally within my body. This procedure means that they're going to, I think, put a tube in from the outside, and it's going to have to drain into a bag. So that's a pain, but it's got to be done. So it's going to be done. And the one thing I think I have mentioned previously is that the University Hospital Network has this online portal where you can look up all your information and notes and blood test results, all these kinds of things. It's all there in the portal. And I read in one of the notes from yesterday's procedure that perhaps it might be possible at a different time to be able to put a stent in. But I'm also, which will then remove the need for this external bag. But I'm also thinking that with chemo, in the tumors should shrink, hopefully, and should they shrink, then maybe the bile then could just flow more naturally on their own. Because my understanding right now is that it's the mass in the pancreas that is obstructing the ability for that bile to flow in the way that it should. So that's where I am. So that's sort of the medical update. I'm also connected to an IV, and I've been punctured all kinds of ways to get blood and everything else because, well, they need blood, but secondly, my veins, I've been told in the past that they roll and they're not always easy to get blood from, but also my understanding is that when you're dehydrated, it's that much harder. And yesterday I was quite dehydrated, and they were drawing a lot of blood. So today I'm on IV, and I think that's partly because they want to make sure that I'm hydrated, and that's sort of the medical part of the update. So it's supposed to happen. The procedure is supposed to happen sometime today, and I'm again so thankful to the healthcare team that's working to get me. I feel like in the most advantageous position possible in this situation. So I'm so grateful, and my understanding is that it's going to happen today. Don't have a time yet because they're just, I guess, slotting me in when they can, and that's also partly, I think, the reason why I have the IV. But on sort of like more of the personal front of like how I'm managing and dealing with things, I was really hoping that the stent, I mean, I had just assumed that the stent would work and that I would be at home by the end of Monday, like I said yesterday morning, and that I would have like Tuesday to more or less kind of chill, take it easy, and then to start winding things down with clients for the remainder of the week. And it turns out that that's not what's happening, because I'm likely still going to be in the hospital on Wednesday, which is I was planning on working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that was a curveball, and so I still need to figure out how that's going to get done, because I'm going to take next week off, and I really want to just, I don't know, take advantage of that week just to be like treatment free. I mean, I don't know that's the right word, like, because chemo's supposed to happen, I think it's supposed to start on the 16th. It all depends on when all my bilirubin number comes down to a better level for everything to start. But I think the target date is on the 16th, and I really wanted to be able to just have a week, which I had already booked off, of just, just me stuff, I guess, not have to worry about, and not to not to sort of be under the influence, I don't know how to put it, but, and chemo starts on the 16th, and I just wanted to have some time. And October the 4th is my birthday, and I was just like, that week I just wanted to chill. I do have a couple of medical appointments that week, but figured I don't want to really, I just wanted to focus on me, and maybe not to just step away from practice stuff for a bit. But and that's what I'm still planning on doing. So I think maybe the week following, before the chemo treatment start, which I think is on the Friday, I hope to maybe get some appointments in to start winding things down that way. But I've been kind of in touch with some people that I haven't been in touch with for some time, and just kind of reconnecting with them and just letting them know what's going on, but it's also let them know how much they've meant to me in my life. And that for the remainder of time, the short remainder of time, whatever amount of time I have left, that it would be, really great for me to have their friendship back in my life again. So I'm doing a bit of that work of reconnecting with folks. Family is finding out. So my in-laws, my mother-in-law and my nephew had contacted me, and it's just really by text, but I hope that we'll be more in touch. I know my mother-in-law has been going through a lot, because she's been trying to sell her house in the middle of an move in the middle of a pandemic, even though she's out east, and it's a lot less intense out there, COVID-wise, but still, she's an older lady, and it's a lot, and she's done everything herself with some support, but it's a pretty amazing thing. So she called me yesterday, or she texted me yesterday, just to tell me that she loves me, so I appreciate that too. Joe, my husband, came. So I'm allowed one visitor for 4 hours each day as it stands. Now, COVID numbers are climbing here in Ontario, and I think even in Canada, in Toronto specifically, and I'm in a hospital. So as of now, the visitor policy is that there's one visitor allowed for 4 hours per day, and he came yesterday with all my stuff because I didn't bring anything. I mean, went in for an outpatient procedure and turned around and became an inpatient without anything apart from my phone and my wallet, pretty much. So he was able to gather all my stuff, and once I was able to find out that I'm able to have visitors, he brought my stuff and some food for me. So that was really great because the food here, which is really, I think, I mean, that's I think another topic for another time. But I was happy to be able to get some food, some nutritious food. I had something called the Power Protein salad that I got from the Summerhill Market, which is delicious. So that's something that I would definitely recommend if you're in Toronto and you're up for a good salad. The Summerhill Market is a fantastic place too. There's a number of locations in Toronto. Great food. Great food, prepared, and also a supermarket too. I mean, I think from the supermarket standpoint, it might be a little bit on the pricier side, and yeah, the prepared foods are a little bit more expensive. But I mean, again, like you get really great food, so and fresh food. So I would highly recommend it. And I think tonight I'm gonna get. I bought a giant salad the other day from the Summerhill Market, and I've asked Joe to sort of portion it out into halves because I don't think there's any like a refrigerator here or anything like that where I would be able to keep the salad. I'm fasting today because of this procedure. They have the IV in to keep me hydrated, and I guess that's it for now. I mean, it seems every day is like a new surprise. I had Joe bring my computer so I could do some correspondence work and cancel the appointments that I need to cancel for tomorrow because I'm here and I'm not going to be able to work. I'm hoping for that best case scenario happening, which is that I will have a procedure done today. They'll monitor me until tomorrow, and then I'll be released on I don't know, my end of day Wednesday. I'll have that conversation with whoever can give me the answers to that. So that's where I am. I don't know if I'll be able to make another update. The reason why I'm able to do this right now is because I do have a roommate, and she is an older lady who's she's struggling right now. She's in a lot of pain, and she's out this morning to have a couple of procedures done, and so I have the room to myself for the time being. Yeah, so it's been challenging because of a lot of things that are unexpected, but also to have the roommate that's really struggling, and I really feel for her. But it's also very difficult to be here and to be going through my own experience, which is not comparable, I don't feel, to what's going on with Margaret. But still, I'm here, and it's tough to hear her struggle. So there you have it. The update for today is Tuesday, September 29th, and you'll hear again from me the next time. I guess I'll do the YouTube thing and say, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you can share, if you'd like to share what I'm doing here with others, this is the subscriber count. To get it up to 1,000 will allow me to be able to monetize the channel, which will help me to financially support myself through this health situation that I'm going through. And there's going to be other things that I hope to be able to provide that may also help from that regard, because my goal now is to be able to spend the time that I have left, whatever time that might be, in the most meaningful ways possible with the most meaningful people in my life. And you watching this, I thank you so much, and it means a lot to me. So you're meaningful for me too. So if there's if you can subscribe and you don't mind having other people subscribe as well, just to support me, I would really appreciate it. But even if not, I hope that you're doing well, taking kind care, and that maybe I'm sending lots of love your way. Please send maybe some my way as well, and also maybe to show someone in your life that you love them. Okay, take care.